Hi there, I'm Matt Easton. This is primarily a video for UK police due to a number of things that are happening at the moment in the UK. Now, first of all, who am I? I teach fencing, I teach martial arts, but I also am an antique sword dealer and have been for many years. I'm a director of a limited company. You can find me on Companies House and everything like that. I've supplied swords to movies, to theatre companies, and of course to collectors around the world. I've worked for a prestigious London auction house. And in addition, in my sort of martial arts and historical research capacity, I have worked at places like the Wallace Collection, the Tower of London. I'm working with the Royal Armouries at the moment on a project. So I'm quite involved in this world, and therefore I have to also be quite aware of the laws that pertain to edged weapons in the UK. Now, the reason I'm making this video is I've become very aware through a number of reports that have come to me in the last few weeks, even really quite recent, that UK police, and I understand that different police operate to different procedures in different areas, but UK police in some cases are seizing things from people, presuming them to be illegal based on the training that they've received, when those things aren't actually illegal. So in other words, UK police have currently seized things which they shouldn't have seized. Now, the main things that seem to be coming up with regularity are locking knives, and I'll address these each separately, and curved swords. Okay, now first of all, I will refer to curved swords because you'll see I have some curved swords behind me. Now, all of those on that wall are antique. Antiques are explicitly exempted from the current UK laws on curved swords, okay? And that's the clearest exemption. They're completely outside the law. They're not covered at all by the Offensive Weapons Act of 2019. So curved swords that are over 100 years old, or indeed, if you look at the law, made by traditional methods by hand before 1954, which is basically all curved swords from before 1954. So any curved sword which dates to pre-1954 is exempt from this law, okay? It's not covered by this law, so you should not be seizing antique curved swords. Now, I know, unfortunately, that in some cases curved swords which are antique have been seized. Why is this a problem? Well, quite simply because they're not illegal, so you shouldn't be seizing them. This creates work for you, potentially embarrassment further down the line, but it also creates cost for all the people involved. It creates transactional cost for the police, potentially for the CPS, magistrates, courts, and so on and so forth. But additionally, also cost and stress for the people, okay? And I understand that the police want to maintain good relationships with the public. You don't want to alienate members of the public for no good reason. So antique swords, antique in law is 100 years old. Antique swords are completely exempt. Swords made by traditional methods from before 1954 are also, they have a legal defence, so they're kind of exempt as well. So you really shouldn't be seizing things that date before 1954. In addition, for curved swords, they have explicit defences for martial arts, reenactment, fencing, any kind of sport, or if they're traditionally made by hand-making methods. Now, those are legal defences. They're a little bit different from exemptions. You guys know that. But if a person is clearly a fencer or a martial arts practitioner or a reenactor or an actor or a film company, equally, you shouldn't really be seizing those things either, because it's completely obvious when it goes to court that they have a legal defence. So again, it's creating transactional cost, potentially embarrassment, and stress and time and all sorts of other issues. So if it is clear and the person can demonstrate immediately that they are a fencer, reenactor, martial arts practitioner, theatre, actor, filmmaker, whatever, those are all absolutely black and white legal defences for owning curved swords. So if any of those qualify, you really shouldn't be seizing curved swords in that situation either. Now, the second confusion here seems to be around locking knives, and this one really has me scratching my head because the law on locking knives really hasn't changed for quite a long time. So, for anybody who doesn't know, in the UK, a non-locking knife with a blade of under 3 inches is completely legal to carry anywhere. A typical example of that would be a Swiss Army knife. A Swiss Army knife is non-locking. You can fold it so it has no locking mechanism to keep the blade open. It's non-locking, has a blade under 3 inches. You can carry it anywhere without you don't have to give a legal reason. It is just a pocket tool like a pair of nail clippers or something. So it's just something you might have in your pocket because it's a very, very useful tool. And you're completely legally entitled to carry that anywhere, even in public, with certain exceptions like schools and stuff. You're completely legally entitled to carry it. Now, locking knives. Indeed, you can't carry them in public. Okay, so locking blades you can't carry in public. But you can own them in private. Now, this seems to be the massive confusion. I have now seen dozens of people who have had knocks on their door from police officers in the last year. I presume because something has been fed out to police forces around the UK telling them that locking knives are illegal to own. And this is categorically incorrect in law. So long as they are not one of the exactly prohibited ones, like a flick knife or a gravity knife or assisted opening knife, if it is just a typical locking knife, so an example would be like this, where the blade is manually opened, but then has a locking mechanism to keep it open, these are commonly used in all sorts of jobs. Leatherman tools have locking blades on them. They're used for fishing knives, for hunting knives, for camping knives. All sorts of, you can buy them in shops, you can buy them on Amazon, you can go into a fishing shop or a camping shop and buy one. They are completely legal to buy, they are completely legal to own. Yes, indeed, you can't be wandering around in public with one without a good lawful reason. For example, you're going on a fishing trip or something, which therefore it would be a tool that you need for the job. If you don't have a legal reason, yes, indeed, that's illegal. But they are completely legal to buy and own. So, unless they are one of the specifically prohibited knives, such as a flick knife or a gravity knife or something like this, if they are just a conventional locking blade knife, they are legal to buy, legal to own. You should not be seizing them. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not giving legal advice to anyone here, but my understanding is that seizing things that aren't illegal might itself be illegal. I'm not sure, but anyway, consult a solicitor on that one. So, and we have to apply common sense to these things, okay? So whether it's curved swords or whether it's locking knives, what is you might go, oh, a locking knife, isn't that a dangerous thing? Is it? Isn't everyone's kitchen full of kitchen knives? How is a locking knife more dangerous than a fixed blade knife? I will tell you, it's not, okay? If we look at what the military use, what do the military use? Fixed blade knives, because they are the strongest, okay? Anything which has a fixed blade without any kind of hinge at the center or mechanism is gonna be mechanically stronger. So bayonets and fighting knives and commando daggers are fixed blade knives, just like a common garden kitchen knife that you can buy in any hardware store or any department store. You can buy from Amazon and you can get them delivered to your door. Okay, so locking knives are no more dangerous than fixed blade knives. They are simply more practical to transport because you can fold them and they take up less space therefore. Okay, so locking knives, not illegal. Curved swords, of course they're not illegal for everybody, because if they were in the UK, then we would have no martial arts, no fencing, no reenactment, no movies would be able to be made here involving curved swords anyway, theatre productions, so on and so forth. So clearly there are legal reasons for owning curved swords and antiques. Okay, our museums are full of curved swords because they're antiques, and antiques are completely exempt from these laws. So please, please, police, I implore you, for all of the fencers and reenactors and film producers and antique collectors out there, please familiarise yourself with what the actual laws are. And I do sympathise, because the Home Office, since about the year 2008, the Home Office has continually tweaked and changed and updated the blade laws, the edged weapon laws in the UK. And it's made it very complicated, even for people like me who make their entire living related to swords and history of warfare made it very difficult for us to get our heads around. And I know that you guys are out there trying to do your day-to-day jobs of policing our communities and making the world a safer place. And we do appreciate you, we do appreciate that. But in this particular thing, it's really important to get on top of the laws as they stand now, or since 2019. They haven't really changed since 2019. So, you know, and I've set them out basically in this video in regards to curved swords and locking knives. If you want to consult me, so open disclosure, I have been a Whitehall civil servant for 15 years of my life. I've worked for the Home Office, I've worked in international development, I've worked for the Foreign Office, I worked in the Lord Chancellor's Department, on the Old Report and all sorts of stuff. So I have been a civil servant. I have consulted with the Metropolitan Police on various things, and I have consulted with the military on certain things. So if you want to talk to someone about these matters, contact me below at the Matt Easton website. I am completely on board with helping you with this, because we all have to do this together, don't we? Yeah, we all want to reach the same goal, but equally, people like me, we still want to go on with our fencing clubs. We still want to go on with reenactment and martial arts and all of those cultural and you know, sometimes profitable activities that we're doing. We all want to do that. We don't want to break the law. We don't want to live in fear of being convicted of things when we're not actually breaking the law. We don't want to live in fear of having things seized when we legally own them, and this kind of stuff as well. And the final thing I'll say as well is postage. The postage laws are really, really simple. Edged weapons can be imported into the UK so long as they're not on the prohibited list, and they can be delivered to your door purely with a signed age-verified delivery, which Parcel Force, for example, offer. And I myself ship swords around the world and around the UK using the age-verified signed signature delivery system. And it works brilliantly, but it's very important that the police out there watching this realise that that is a thing that exists, and that is a system we're working with. It is not illegal to get a kitchen knife delivered to your door, or a lock knife delivered to your door, so long as it's delivered with an age-verified service. I really hope this is taken in the spirit it's intended. I'm trying to help, I'm trying to be helpful, but I'm also trying to protect my fellow antique collectors and fencers and other people out there as well, because sometimes we need protection from not the law, but when the law is wrongly interpreted as well. Okay, so let's get talking. I hope this is useful. Thanks a lot for watching. My name's Matt Easton. All the links below if you want to get in contact with me. Cheers, folks.